Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Black Clover. Last time around, we had Together in the Bath, where basically Asta was still in a funk about, A, not being able to fight Yuno, and B, not even sure if he would have been able to beat Yuno. And so everyone was trying to cheer him up, and then Yami was just like, we're all taking a bath. And so they all went and took a bath. And Yami regaled them with a tale of when he was a part of the Grey Deer under Captain Julius Novachrono, and how he first met one of his fellow Grey Deer, William Vangeance, who Yami could see was really friggin' strong, very mysterious, very suspicious, but he could see he was a good enough rival, and so the two of them had a friendly rivalry for many, many years. Especially on which of them would be the first to become a captain of a Magic Knight squad. So yeah, that is pretty much where we left off. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Black Clover. Here we go. Alright, get out of your funk. Ugh, good grief. You gotta get out of your funk, man. Ugh. Well, that was good. I am kind of glad that the whole Asta being depressed thing didn't last very long. Which, I mean, it makes sense that it wouldn't, but it's just like, technically it lasted 2 episodes. However, most of those episodes were just telling a story about Yami and Vangeance anyway, so... Alright. So now we have the answer of who became a captain first. Neither. They became captains at the exact same time. It's interesting, too, because it's like, who was the captain of the Grey Deer at that point? Because they were both vice-captains. So... But it's so interesting just, seeing how quickly also they form their squads of, the idea behind their squads, Honestly, it feels like William had thought about that for a while, where he just immediately was like, they'll be called Golden Dawn, is before it's to represent the Golden Dawn that we will bring to this country. We will give the people of this country a good morning, Whereas Yami had to be like, okay, wow, what do I want to do? I want to take some fucking misfits and weirdos and hooligans, and I'll put them all together. It's what you did for me. I think that would work. And it's like, what do we call them? It's like, okay, well, they're all different, the colors. You put them together. Is it black hooligans? No, bulls. Let's go with bulls. So, I like the difference there, where it's very clearly. It reminds me of. It's kind of a weird reference, but. If you guys watch the movie Conclave, it's a movie that came out recently about all the cardinals in the Catholic Church, the Pope dies, so they're trying to vote for the next Pope, and it's a very fascinating movie to watch. And one of the things in there is Stanley Tucci's character is like, oh come on, every cardinal has already thought what name they want to pick if they become Pope, And the main guy, played by Ray Fiennes, is like, oh, I didn't think about that. And she's like, yeah, you did. And then a little later, he's like, John. I would want to be called John. So, which is the most boring fucking name, by the way. Choose a better Pope name. Cornelius the 18th. Even if there are not 18 other Corneliuses. So, I guess you can't pick the number, but it doesn't matter. Anyway. So yeah, it's kind of like that, where it's just Yami just kind of figured it out on the fly, whereas William's clearly been thinking about that for a while, so, which is fun. That's funny. I like that. So yeah, very interesting stuff, seeing the two of them working together. They were traitors in the Magic Knights. Was it Mott and Gull, I believe, was it? At first I thought it was Got and Mole, but then I was like, no, that can't be right. It was something like that for the two of them, but they were the traitors. It's funny because they don't even really go into why they were doing that, but it's clearly they were just trying to profit off of that, They were trying to profit off of, stealing the harvest and stuff, and it's just like, man, these guys, why are there so many crap Magic Knights? But I will say it gets a bit more clearer nowadays, because it gets a bit more clearer as episodes go on. It's like Julius. How long has Julius been the Wizard King? If I were to guess, maybe 6 or 7 years. And if that's the case, I assume he started the Star program. Maybe. I mean, I guess we don't know. We don't know anything about his predecessor or anything about any of his predecessors, But, yeah, so it's like, it stands to reason that he implemented the star system, But, I don't know. And probably after everything that happened with Zara, Because that was fairly recent, I think. So I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to see. It's like, no, the Magic Knights, they have pretty much been corrupt for a very, very long time until now. Julius is basically going in and he's cleaning up the Magic Knights, and appointing 2 people who are genuine good people to be captains, both William and Yami. But even then, I mean, when you have, I will at least say, like, in terms of the other captains, I think most of the captains, with the exception of the Purple Orca captain, who was a traitor, literally came out as a traitor, I think all the other captains are pretty good. Even Nozel, being captain of the Silver Eagles, I think he's good. He's just kind of a dick, It's like we've always said, it's like, he's just kind of a dick, and he especially is a dick to Noel, but that's more of a personal matter. Like, I don't think he's, like, I would imagine he is a genuine Magic Knight, Now, his siblings are another question, but, whether or not his siblings would do something like this, we don't know. But Nozel, I don't think so, and obviously Fuegoleon is a genuinely good person, so. But maybe that's another thing, is, we kind of speculated that the Crimson Lions and the Silver Eagles were both, like, sort of institutional or, like, generational squads, where it's like maybe they're always captained by someone from that particular royal family. But maybe not. Maybe Fuegoleon and Nozel were the choices by Julius to be like, hey, I need you 2 running these 2 squads because I trust you 2, Maybe, I don't know. And then obviously Charlotte is also a good person. Charlotte, a Rill, I would say too. We don't know anything about the, whatever Kirsch is from, was it the pink butterflies? Like, the girl who's always asleep? So, we don't really know anything about them, but yeah, it's like, and I guess you could say, like, I guess there's the question of, for that squad, it's like, well, would Kirsch have done something like that? I guess not. See, because probably Noel's siblings wouldn't do something like this either, be a traitor, because to them there's no reason to. They're already royalty. They kind of have everything they want, Whereas, if I were to guess, these 2 guys who were traitors are both, of a higher class, but not the highest class of nobility, Like, they're probably just some sort of lower on the totem pole noble family, and so they're trying to get some more money, basically, They're trying to get some more money because maybe they won't inherit it a lot from their families, even if they are technically in the nobility, So I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about, though. But yeah, so. But either way, yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not good, though. It's like, it's still very anti-Magic Knight, It's like, what are the Magic Knights? And that's the thing, is like, the Magic Knights started as sort of a reflection of the original Wizard King, whom, came in and just saved people. He was just a hero. He came in, he saved the people, and that was that, But since then, the Magic Knights just became so twisted as to be, it's like, well, it's just about the nobility and they can do whatever they want. And it's just like, no, that's not how that works, And it makes you wonder. I hope at some point we get Julius's backstory. I mean, maybe then we can see the former Wizard King, you know? Maybe he was found by the former Wizard King, and we can see how that affected him, and thus how he then affected everyone else, you know? So I don't know, but it's an interesting thing, definitely, like seeing Yami and William when they were younger, you know, how they formed their squads and everything, and what that meant for the Magic Knights as a whole, you know? And now the fact that both of their squads are at the top, you know, they've said that Golden Dawn has been at the top for a while, for many years in a row, and only now, though, is the Black Bulls at number 2, so it's just like, that's incredibly impressive, you know, that both of them have risen above basically every other Magic Knight squad, you know? So that's incredible, so. So yeah, it's very, very interesting stuff, so I'm very curious to get more. And now, Asta is thankfully out of his funk. It's just stop, just don't give up. Just, even if you didn't win, or you know you couldn't make it to fight your rival, or you would have lost or whatever, just who cares? Just get up, get back to work, you know. So that was great. I like seeing that. So, and now Sisgolion is here, and now we have to figure out, well, what does she want? It's the only person who would bust down their door like that. So, oh, good grief. But we'll have to see. But luckily, Asta is now out of his funk. So we'll have to see where we're going next time. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Black Clover reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.
Okay.